So let's go to a shorter, more fun one. Okay,
Okay.
so this one, it's like
Oh,
Israel
yeah.
Palestine stuff. We'll talk about it, but I'm
Right.
kind of burnt out on it.
Yeah.
Um, it's like, yeah, okay, they're fighting. I get it. Like, and
Mhm.
like these stupid college kids are making me care less. Like,
I
they could
know.
literally be using babies as like ammo and like using trebuchets and like I just don't care now because they're so insufferable. So here's a here's an interesting video for people. I'm gonna just play it all the way through because it's only 20 seconds, and also acknowledge the fact that, in my opinion, most of these are fake. Um,
Right.
but
I think a lot of them are, yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
where it's like some super hot like Instagram chicks like rate me on 0 to 10, like some nerds like 0, you're not my type, and everyone's like, oh, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, she just paid that guy $50 to do it, and
Mhm.
maybe touch a tit. But here, okay, so here's this in here.
Does height matter?
Of course it does.
Step on the scale.
I'm not.
Okay, so yeah, he asks, does height matter? He seems like he's pretty tall. Like,
Yeah, he looks like he's probably about 6'2" or 3,
yeah,
if
unless
not
he's
more.
standing on something, but
Unless
doesn't.
she's really short, yeah.
Yeah, and then he
Does height matter?
Of course it does.
he's holding a scale so
Step
people
on the
know.
scale.
I'm
Yeah.
not going on a scale. You should love a girl for who they are.
You should love a guy for who they are, regardless of height.
That's true.
So take it back then.
And I'm not taking.
She just contradicted her own statement.
Yeah, I'll go back.
True.
So take it back then.
And I'm not taking it back. But I'm
Then
not
step on the scale.
No.
You're,
If you care
you're being a
about
coward.
weight, you're ridiculous. And
If you care about height, you're ridiculous.
But you don't need to know an exact number.
You don't need to know an exact height.
All you gotta know is that they're taller than me, and that's it.
Okay, I want you to be lighter than me. Step on the scale.
No.
Yeah, I think this is something that obviously I've never dealt with
Mhm.
because I'm 6'5", 6'6", depending if I'm standing up straight. This one does seem real. She seems like she's just drunk.
Yeah.
And gets kind of caught in her own like hypocrisy. It
Mhm.
is a thing in the female community where it's generally accepted. Like, I've heard this from single friends where they're like on dating apps and they'll say like no men under 6 feet tall or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like only in that scenario, by the way, which is something you can't even control.
I know, that's the thing is
It's
this
not
girl
fair.
can control her weight, but you
Yeah.
can't control your height.
And
Yeah.
yeah, she's probably 15 pounds overweight. She's not obese,
Mhm.
but like she could lose that in 3 months if she wanted to, but
Right.
you can't grow. And it's weird in this, like, it is a thing in the dating community with women, but what I try to tell people is like, yeah, you saw that on the internet. And also, like, okay, fine, then that's a great way to way to
Yeah, they're
like
reporting
skip over
themselves.
it. Yeah, self-report. Yeah,
That's
like,
all they're
okay, you're a piece of
doing.
shit. Yeah.
I think some people kind of look at stuff like that and then want to take a victim mentality and minds. Oh, I'll never get a woman because all women only will date 6 foot or taller. That's not even true. It's not even
No.
close to true. The girls who are like that, and unless the girl is like 6 foot herself, she has no right to be saying that. Like you just said, they're self-reporting. They're not worth dating anyway. If that's all they care about. And so I just think, okay, leave those girls alone. Don't worry about them. Most people on dating apps in general are trash anyway on both
Yes,
sides.
overwhelmingly. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
so it's like, just don't date them, but don't let that turn you into a victim because then your personality is going to be bad and no one's going to want to date you. Like my cousin is, I think he's like 5'3.5", 5'4". He got married to a beautiful woman who's like 5'7".
yeah.
It happens. Get a good personality. Don't be a victim, you know?
And it's okay to have preferences, right? So
Yeah,
like
that too.
I don't think, like, for me, I think it's probably different for women.
Mhm.
I don't want to generalize, but since Melonie will obviously speak for all women, I will speak for all men.
Okay.
I don't care. I wouldn't care one bit if my girl was taller than me. I don't
Right.
care. She'd be
Right.
like a professional volleyball player in that, or in that particular case. But I guess I definitely had dated girls like similar height. I didn't care about any of that. But I can see women having preferences like I'd like a guy who's taller than me, but that's just like,
I think that's a fair preference if you want a guy taller than you. I would
yeah.
prefer a guy taller than me. He doesn't have to be 6 foot, but I would prefer not to be taller. First of all, because I'm not even like super tall. I'm like 5'6" or
Yeah.
7. So
And if you wear heels, that's another, now you're in trouble.
right. And so
Yeah.
I would prefer that, but this whole argument, and I've had some people on Twitter be like, "Oh, I bet you only date guys who are like 5 or 6 foot or taller and all that." And no,
Why?
that's not
'Cause
the
you're
case.
tall?
I'm
How
not even
tall are you?
tall. No, I'm only like 5'6" or 7, but they're saying that because they're
That's
projecting what these girls are saying onto
Oh,
me.
okay.
But it's
Yeah.
like, no, I don't only a guy doesn't have to be 6 foot. Like I've been attracted to guys who are like 5'8", 5'9", plenty of
Yeah.
times.
I don't
Yeah.
think that it's such a weird thing that I think only exists in dating app and for whores.
I
Like,
know, exactly.
I don't think that any woman who's actually dating, I would say, like, you said you're 5'6", 5'7", like, that's
Mhm.
tall-ish for a
A
girl.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's, like, on the higher side of average.
Mhm.
Um, but, like, I don't think actual real people like, this stuff gets I don't know how, like, 200,000 likes. So,
Yeah.
like, this stuff goes viral.
That's why they make it.
Yeah, that's why they make it. Yeah, because
'Cause
like
most girls aren't like that. My mom, when she was dating, she didn't like tall guys. She liked guys that were her height or a little taller, but she never did like she found that the guys who are a little shorter to be more feisty, and that's what she liked. And my dad is like 5'8", and she's
yeah.
like 5'5". So that was her preference. That's what she liked. And she's not the only one like that. There are girls who
People have preferences
won't
just
be.
like guys have a preference for girls.
Mhm.
Um, whatever their particular preferences are varies from person to person, and that's one thing that, like, what I like about this meme, even if this is, like, fake, she seems genuinely offended, so I
She
have a
does.
feeling I have a feeling that this one was real.
And he seemed fired up a bit too.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey."
It
Yeah.
felt real, yeah.
Yeah, "Get on the scale, bitch." But I think it's just because of the way that she was like, "I don't want no short king," like, blah, blah, like, and he seemed like he was probably close to 6 feet tall, so he's probably not short, but, like, the left likes to think that people's preferences are, like, phobic. Like, the whole, like, trans
Right.
men are like, "Let us on these lesbian dating apps," and, like, lesbians are like, "Yo, we don't like penis." Like, we're
Exactly.
not into that. We're lesbians. And they're like, "What do you mean? Like, that's transphobic." Like, people have preferences out there. They just not all of them are stupid jerks about it.
Exactly. Yep.
The
Yeah, one of my brothers is like 5'9", and he married a girl who's like 5 foot tall, and they look really cute next to each other. They're perfect. I
five
don't
5'0" is small. That'd be like pocket size.
I know she's tiny. She is
Yeah.
so cute. I think that's what's ridiculous is when a girl who's like 5 foot to 5'2", and they only date 6 foot or taller, and some of
Those
them
exist
exist.
too. Yeah, they
It's
exist.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot
I
of
mean, not that I
advantages.
think if they organically meet and that happens, that's great. That's cute. But to say I will only date a man who's 6 foot tall when she's 5'1", that's ridiculous.
Well, and she's probably still saying that, and she's probably still single. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I think it's a indicator of other character flaws. I think you can have your preferences, but if you communicate them in a way like this, where it's complete hypocrisy, like, "Oh, what do you mean? Blah, 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 blah." Um, I don't think this or nothing. Yeah, of course, this is just like
Yeah.
engagement trap, but I just thought it was funny because I did see that narrative going around for a while, and I would try to tell, like, my friends, like, because I have a lot of friends that are like not well, everyone I know is shorter than me, but
Mhm.
like most, in fact, I don't think. I mean, I have met people taller than me before, but like the people I hang around with are all shorter than me. But
Right.
like, this only exists people bring it up, and I'm like, "This should only exist online." Like, there's no real
Exactly.
women aren't really like this.
Yep.
They go and say it on the whatever podcast or whatever, but
Mhm.
those people don't exist. Like, it
Yeah, it's
doesn't.
like don't let those people make you hate the opposite gender because and project that onto all of them and get you in a victim mindset because if you get yourself in a victim mindset and you're not being the best that you can absolutely be, then you're gonna be undateable if you're just,
Right. Yeah.
all women are like this or all men are like this. Then those kind of people are insufferable. And this whole gender wars thing of trying to hate women or women trying to hate men, that is the most gay thing imaginable.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
rampant. And I just think it's stupid.